To tonight's Get Real India story. Now, in this country, many a time policies are made, but they remain on paper. The National Policy on Rare Diseases is one such instance. Over 400 patients registered for treatment of rare diseases under the policy that promised funds, but not one of them have got financial assistance since. Tonight's India Today special report comes from Milan Sharma.
They named their home after him. In 2009, Vihan was born as a normal child. In his 7th month, his life changed. Vihan was diagnosed with Hunter syndrome or MPS II, a very rare genetic disorder that progresses with age. He never walked or talked, he only smiled. Vihan died at the age of 13 in May 2022, waiting for medical assistance that Neha and Mayank could not afford.
I don't want to say this, but our India is very weak in medical system, especially in case of rare kids. As these disorders, they don't consider at all. Government can help us, and surely they can. If they can raise some funds or they can actually look after this policy, they can help the kids to achieve a normal and a better life.
10-year-old Laksha has been almost in vegetative state for 3 years now. An active kid until 2017, he can't even sit without help anymore. Laksha's parents, Bharat and Asha, are worried how long he will survive.
डॉक्टर्स ने हमें बताया कि आप ट्रीटमेंट बहुत कॉस्टली है इसका, तो फिर हमने पूछा क्या कॉस्ट है, तो उन्होंने फिर हमें बताया कि करीब 1 करोड़ के आसपास इसकी कॉस्ट आती है ट्रीटमेंट की। बट हमारे इतना हम है नहीं कि इतना अफोर्ड कर सके इतना पैसा। हम मिडिल क्लास फैमिली से हैं, इतना पैसा हम अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, और बॉडी भी इसकी ख़राब होती जा रही है। पहले हाथ पैर भी चला लेता था, अब इसका जैसे छोड़ दो तो वैसे का वैसे ही पड़ा ही रहता है, करवट भी नहीं ले पाता अपने आप से खुद।
The family is praying for some miracle. The Union Health Ministry framed a national policy for rare diseases in March 2021. It was to give patients of rare disorders financial help of up to 50 lakh rupees for treatment. However, of the 432 patients registered for rare disorders treatment, not a single one has received funds yet.
They don't have that funds. They are not actually making those funds to release. Like per vial, in this case, there are injectables per vial which are so costly, so expensive, and that will increase according to the age, according to the weight, you know. And for a family, for I would say middle family or a high class family, that doesn't matter, but we can't afford anyone.
BJP MP Varun Gandhi has raised the issue. The MP, in a letter to Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia on January 7 says that according to Health Ministry's crowdfunding platform, 208 patients can be put on therapy immediately. But he adds that 10 centers of excellence set up under the policy are yet to seek funds for even a single case. Most of these diseases are diagnosed in specialty hospitals, and the treatment in India available for some is extremely expensive.
Vihan is perhaps just one of those children who has lost his life. The family prays that no other family should see the kind of torment that they have been through. But this is a classic case of policies being made on paper and never implemented. We have reached out to the Union Health Ministry for a statement as well. But every minute lost is a life lost for a child who is waiting for financial assistance for the treatment of rare disease disorders in the country. With Pavan Kumar in New Delhi, Milan Sharma for India Today.
Joining me now is Saurabh Singh. He's Director, Rare Diseases India Foundation. Neha Mitra is a parent who lost her child. Neha, to you first. Today, first of all, condolences. Do you feel anger that this policy has not been implemented? Do you believe your child would have been saved if a policy wasn't properly implemented?
Hello.
Yeah, definitely, Rajdeep. I believe so. If this policy has been implemented properly at a time, then definitely I won't lose my kid. At least he would be in a better condition today.
Did you attempt to
Hello,
get funds? Did you attempt, Neha, to get funds? And what response did you get?
Yes, yes. Rajdeep, what happened? I made my son into the trial runs, which were conducted by many of the medical companies outside India. They were making a trial run in India for the same. At that time, my son's age was 6 years, and unfortunately, the criteria of that medicine is early intervention. Below 3 years, they can consider a child for a trial run. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. Although I made all the tests which were under that form that need to be done, I made all the attempts, but I wasn't successful. And then I got to know that these policies we are amending, we are pleading to our government, central government, our health ministries, that they can look out to these kids. They are also hope,
Can I, Saurabh
They
Singh?
are also a ray of hope in our country. If
Saurabh Singh, is part of the problem just the heavy costs involved in these rare diseases? Because the costs are so high, funding is difficult.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Saurabh?
Thank you, Rajdeep, for calling me. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, first of all, Rajdeep, for inviting me for this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. As we know that before 2021, there was no such policy for rare disease patients. First, it was came in 2017. After some time, it was kept in abeyance, and it was reframed in 2021, and now it is amended in 2021. So, in this new existing policy, there is a provision of 50 lakhs rupees only, and these rare diseases are categorized in 3 parts. And for all the rare disease patients, 50 lakhs rupees is not sufficient, because there are patients who needs lifetime therapy and the cost is very high. These 3 groups, for group 1, 50 lakhs is sufficient. For group 2, 50 lakhs may be sufficient. But for group 3, 50 lakhs is not sufficient, because those patients need lifetime support. So this is the issue with this policy.
Right.
And
so
again,
you're saying the funding needs to increase, but let me ask you, is the funding being provided or not? Are the funds being provided? Our story suggests the funds are not being provided also. Even the 50 lakhs are not being provided.
Yeah, Rajdeep, exactly, you are right. There is no patient benefited out of this policy till date, because nowadays what happens, there are 10 Center of Excellence hospitals there in India, including AIIMS New Delhi. And what is the policy says, that first of all, Center of Excellence will give recommendation to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to release the fund for these patients. But unfortunately, Center of Excellence has not yet given a recommendation for any of the patients, because they feel that in 50 lakhs rupees for treatment for group 3 patients are not okay.
Okay, so I want to get Neha. Right, so you need a system where you're going to have to increase the amount payable and create a way where those with rare diseases get. Neha, you have a final word. You want to say something to the policy makers as a parent who lost her child. What would you want to tell the government?
Yeah, Rajdeep, definitely I would want to raise this issue. I lost my son, but I really don't want any other parent that they would regret that they don't have a policy in India, or they can't afford. It's too expensive, as all of us know, as Saurabh has bring it to you also. But it's my request to our ministry, please help these children, please look after this policy. You need to see what is going on. You are just speaking, you are just giving the words. No actions are there.
Okay. I want to leave
It's
it there.
time to take action.
I want to leave it there.
Crowdfunding
Lot of
platform.
talk, not enough action. We've highlighted this story in the hope that someone there is listening and will act on this. I appreciate my guests joining me.